After finishing above 500 for the first time since 2019, the 2024 Virginia Tech Hokies are my personal sleeper team in college football. So sit back, relax as I break down the 2024 Virginia Tech Hokies. Stay tuned. Man, head coach Brent Pry and the Virginia Tech Hokies learned one valuable lesson from the 2023 season. It was to finish. Now, Tater Too Real, what do you mean by that? Virginia Tech started off the season last year struggling. They lost versus the top tier teams, the Florida States, the Louisvilles, the NC States of the world. And they pretty much just looked lifeless. I didn't really see anything on offense. I didn't really see anything on defense. And this was at the beginning of the season, by the way. I'm not talking about the whole season. But insert Baylor transfer quarterback Kyron Drones, and poof, you started seeing something special brewing at Virginia Tech. He accounted for 22 touchdowns and 11 starts. The rushing yards per game went from 60 yards per game before he was the quarterback up to 213 yards rushing per game. Because he is a great dual threat quarterback, you have to respect the run. You have to respect the pass as well. And speaking of passing, this receiver room is as strong as ever. Headlined by receiver Ali Jennings, headlined by receiver Daquan Felton, Jalen Lane, Stephen Gosnow, who all combined for 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns last year at Virginia Tech. So expect for them to take a big step up. Expect quarterback Kyron Drones to feel even more comfortable in this system. But guys, I'm going to tell you one thing. This running back room is absolutely loaded. I'm talking about more loaded than a toilet after eating bad Mexican food. Headlined by running back Bayshu Tuden, who had 863 yards rushing last year. Also, they have Malcolm Thomas, but the most slept on running back in probably all of college football in the upcoming years is PJ Prelo. If you have not watched Virginia Tech spring game, please go back there and watch running back PJ Prelo because he is electric, he is shifty, and he is going to be a star in college football in the upcoming years, in my opinion. Very small though, so he's not probably going to be a every down back, but he has high potential in my opinion. But like every other team in college football, it all depends on the offensive line play. As long as this offensive line just be average. They don't have to be nothing spectacular. They don't have to be LSU. They don't have to be Washington from last year. They just need to be average, maybe a little above average. And that is what the offensive line was last year. And they're pretty much intact again this year with the addition of Montavious Cunningham from Georgia State. So you're hoping that another year under Brent Pry, another year under the offensive line coach, they develop more chemistry and they can be better on the field. But now, guys, let's talk about the defense and why I believe this is one of the more slept-on units in all of college football. Before I start on the defense, I want to say this. According to 247sports.com, the Virginia Tech Hokies finished the 2024 class ranked number 47 in recruiting, and currently they're sitting at 45 for the 2025 class. The Virginia Tech Hokies had no issue out of their cornerback play, headlined by Dorian Strong and Mansour Delane. They're one of the best cornerback tandems in all of college football, not just the ACC. Now, against the rush last year, this defense was absolutely terrible. They went out there and addressed the need for a better defensive tackle play and linebacker play. They went out there and got Curtis Perry from the University of Alabama. They went out there and got Kelvin Gillum from the University of Oklahoma. Also, Anais Peoples from Duke. All three of those players I just mentioned play defensive tackle. So they're trying to be better against the run. Also, when you're looking at pass rush, last year they had 39 sacks, which was one of the best sack units in all of the ACC. Headlined by Antoine Powell Ryland, transfer from the University of Florida, had 9.5 sacks last year from his defensive end position. And here's why I believe that all the teams in the ACC should absolutely fear Virginia Tech is because even though they were terrible against the run, they still finished top 20 in defense. They went out there, hit the portal, hit the high school ranks, addressed the defensive tackle position, addressed the linebacker position by getting a stout linebacker in Sam Brumfield from Middle Tennessee State, who led Middle Tennessee State in tackles with 81. Tough, physical, downhill type of linebacker. Now let's talk about their schedule and how I think they're going to do. The 2024 Virginia Tech Hokies will have a favorable schedule. Not Tater Too Real, what do you mean by that? Virginia Tech will kick off the season versus Vanderbilt. Then they will go on to play teams like Marshall, Old Dominion, Rutgers, Duke, to name a few. But I want to highlight two teams, Miami and Clemson. I believe this will be Virginia Tech's two toughest opponents this year. Miami has a lot of talent. They've been recruiting at a high level, and they have a hunger this year that I haven't seen at Miami in recent years. And Clemson is still going to be Clemson, especially on the defensive side of the football. So for that reason alone, as of right here, right now today, without seeing Virginia Tech play a single game yet, I'm going to say they're going to finish 10-2 at best, 9-3 at worst, because if they're not careful, a team like Rutgers can beat them. Rutgers been doing extremely well in the recruiting ranks and the transfer portal ranks, and they're looking like they're going to have a solid team this year. So as of right now, I'm going to give official record prediction of 10-2. I got them losing against Miami and Clemson, but besides that, they should be able to beat the Georgia Techs of the world and all the other teams, Old Dominion, Marshall. Virginia Tech had a top 20 defense last year with a bad rush defense. They went out and addressed that. They have one of the best cornerbacks in all of college football in Dorian Strong. You have quarterback Kyron Drones, who's going to have another year in this system. He's going to be even better running and passing. You have an experienced receiver group. You have 3 good running backs. You have an offensive line who is coming back, so you're going to have more chemistry there. Sheesh. You guys let me know what you think. Are they going to finish 10-2? Are the Virginia Tech Hokies even slept on at all? This is your boy Tater 2 Real, where we always keep it to what? To grill. Holla.